Okay, let's continue from where we left off. So the last thing we did was shot 30 flipbook with the waves. Just gonna update our edit with 50 and 60 real quick. Um, so this was our shot 10. I'm gonna just, I think, save as. Um, let's select this. I'm gonna just save it as shot 50 here. Okay, and I'm going to get the animation and our enemy ship with the proper keys from here and here. Okay. If we turn this on, this is not looking right. Or the camera is not looking correct. Let me double check this. Is it the frame range? 1001 to 1056. Let's use our tools because we have a tool. The shot is now 1050. That is 050. Execute. Let's get our correct frame range. It's reading 1070 because we didn't update it. Let's double check that because we didn't finish. Did we? I don't recall. Let's double check. Config. This is shot 50. It should be 1056. Oh, maybe we just I maybe accidentally just update the alias again. Yeah, I did the same thing. Uh, shot 1050. Okay. Set range. The range is set. We need to figure out why is our camera not doing the right thing. It's here. Our animation is. This should be the traveling camera. I'm just gonna double check this. Something broke. Or is it a different shot? This should be 1050. 050. That's what we're looking for. And then 60. I'm gonna try again. Maybe I didn't copy it properly. So that's frame 1010. I'm just double checking. This guy comes here. Interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna save my other scene then with nothing on it. If that's the case. And I think that's gonna be it. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna save this other scene from my other monitor, which is the working scene. Save, overwrite, reopen. Okay, now it's working. All right. So where were we? We needed to create the. Oh, I need to copy the ocean. Let me get the ocean back. I should do. Okay, we don't need the enemy ship here. We don't see it. Reverse angle. Okay, the lighting is is good. I guess now we can make our flip book as well. This is just distracting too much. Let's do like this. Okay, this is now 50. And version 1, start. While this is doing this, well, it's gonna be fast enough actually. Let's do finally the shot 60. So I'm going to open in my older scene, shot 60. Okay. This is done. Let's quickly update our edit as well. So I'm just going to copy paste what I did here just for the transform. Go in 50. Update it to 50. So it's going to be in PS50 flip 0 is this one. Okay, start at 1982. If I play, oh, we didn't update it. This is still 30. Flip. Ah, I pull in flip books. Doesn't matter. Save. Render. Okay. Now, finally, we're gonna do 60. This can go. I'm gonna copy this. Okay, I'm gonna open now 60. Just preparing on the other screen. Okay, let's open 60. There's an additional offset here for this camera. The frame range, we're gonna pull it properly again. This is now 60. Frame range updated. If I turn this off, it's doing the right thing. Let's quickly update our edit with our first version. That's 11.07. Work project 60 flip V01 JPEG and go. Okay, while this is happening, we can go back to the first file and actually start building our flip settings. And then we can start planning pretty much how we're going to do the particles from this guy as well, and then the tank to do the effect. And then we'll talk about how do we do the blending. Okay, let's update this one too. No, not you. Let's go inside here. that's fine. Okay, and okay, this is better now. And oh, this one is also wrong. We need to do a little reformat here. And is this one as well? No, this one is fine. This one is fine. These two needs to be rendered again. But this one keeps, this was, oh, start frame is wrong. Let's fix that. Start at 23:14. Save, come back here. This one is still wrong. Didn't we plug in the reformat? We did. I think it looks correct here, but not here. Oh, I seen this. There's something to it with Mix Studio. Once it writes out a different format, it kind of it becomes a little bit difficult to adjust it. I'll think it can be done from properties. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. So now we're finished. Let's open this shot up and start doing our flip section. Okay, let's open the first shot. File open PS10. Okay, and so the first thing we're gonna need is we have our ocean surface. I'm just gonna put this in its network box as well, in case I don't want to do some more stuff with the ocean. That's where it's gonna be. Let's drop in another geometry node, and we're gonna call it water sim. Let's dive inside. So the first thing I want to do is to determine where I want the simulation, right? Obviously, we're not going to do that. So also the camera is halfway through. So, and we never see this side. So we really need like a bounding box, something like this, right? So I'm going to create a box. Um, the it's just literally a box. The way I made it work is, where is it here? You make it as big as you need, not more than what you need. Okay. And let's bring it down. Depth is a bit important. Let's go up like this. And that should be enough. Are we seeing the bottom end? Let's double check. So we're not seeing the bottom from this angle. And it's going to move forward, right? So I'm just going to hide this. And we're not going to see for this shot anything on the left side. Oh, actually, yeah, there's still, it's too much in front as well. Let's pull this back, something like this. Maybe a little bit on the other side. It should be okay because in case there is overfill. Okay, so now obviously this needs to be animated. So I already have that on, right? So I'm not going to reanimate it. I'm going to bring this guy here. And for this, I use something like this. This is animated. And I think it could use that extra as well. So let's fix that one. Because it's coming to like an abrupt stop. I think it's this one. So we could. Okay, so it doesn't just stop now. Now the next thing you need is the flip container node. Flip container. Now this is like all those nodes that are put outside so they can be used with flip solver, just like the RBD bullet solver. Okay. Um, the quality I went in the video you saw was based on 0.04, so fairly large settings, but I'm gonna go 1. So 0.04 is 4 centimeters, right? So I'm going to 10 now, 10 centimeters just for the for testing. Now, by default, this creates, I believe, a tank for itself at the center. But if you plug this guy in, it's gonna create the tank where is our box? Where our box is. Okay, I'm just gonna add the vorticity attribute. This is just like on the flip solver, you have the vorticity here. You can do the same thing. You can add age, rest, all that. But we're not going to use these for now. And I think that's really it for this one. And you are able to use weird shapes. That's a good thing. So if you do like a torus, and if I look at the torus, let's say this torus is 2 meters wide. Let's hide everything else. I can see it. And then you could, this was too big, I think. I haven't tried, but I believe, yes, if you turn off the implicit bounds, you could have any shape of container for a flip sim. But we need a square for now. Okay, show all. Now, next thing I need is my collider. So the next node is, well, we need to turn this off. Now what we need is a flip collider. So we're going to bring a new node named flip collide. So it requires the source, it requires the container, it requires collisions, and then here on the right side is your new collision geometry. Okay, so that's going to be our bot, obviously. So I'm going to put an object merge. I don't need this. Let's call it exact same thing so I can, so the following steps will fail: in ship, and we're gonna go to our USS Missouri. I think. Oh no, we have to prepare our collision geometry. Yes, of course. I'm gonna pull this down and create a new geometry node. So we need to do a little bit of work on our geometries just to clean up, create the velocities and all that stuff, I believe. Let's call it USS Missouri Prep. And I'm gonna object merge. I think the velocities are calculated in the flip collide node if you haven't done it, so that should be okay. Okay, and I believe I just pulled this in because the other one is an FBX, and it's not like just pulling all the geometry. What I need basically, USS Missouri, so we go to USS Missouri, ship hull, and I'm going to show later on the extra forces that we created as well. And out ship. Okay, so we got our, into this object, we got our boat, just a null. Out, follow, oops. Let's go back and to our water sim, find that guy, prep out, follow, and plug it into Flip Collide. Okay, so our collision geometry is now there as well. I believe for this shot, I didn't change anything, but if you guys can see, we can compute velocity and it does all its required things to simplify the workflow, which previously things like we did. If you've seen my first tutorial, Masters of the Sea, we did VDB convert things, and we have to make sure that everything is solid. Oh, not convert VDB, VDB from polygons. We had to convert stuff properly and then calculate, create the fields, plug them in. That's all what this is doing. And you just don't have to worry about it. Just make sure that you have the shapes. The only important thing I'll keep suggesting is to don't blindly use it. Just try to understand, which means all of these nodes are using um, other nodes, and there's a lot of information inside that is written like documentation. So dive inside, see what's happening inside. Um, but that's gonna take a lot longer, obviously, to kind of like how to get this working, right? Point velocity, so there's point velocity, all that stuff is calculated here. Anyway, the next thing you need is literally the flip solver. And I'm going to start this from a pre-roll 850. So it's like we have more pre-roll than the actual sim. Unfortunately, you have to have pre-roll. Okay, let's put this here. Make sure that it's moving. It starts moving from 900. So let's do a pre-roll from 900. Okay. Now, required sources in. Starts from frame 900. Now there's a couple things we need to sort out, I believe. So we have a water line. So use the water line, turn that on. Then you get your particles. By default, Houdini displays particles as these shiny balls, and this is usually slow and heavy on the viewport as well. If you hit D on the viewport and go to the geometry tab, you can change display particles as pixels. Oh, this one is actually from here, visualization. Points as sphere. Yeah, turn that off. And display particles. I think this is still the same. Yeah. Okay. So switched. I always use the pixels because it's the fastest method, and now it's a lot more smooth. Now there's a couple things I did, but before doing that custom setup, I just want to reduce the resolution and just press play to see what's happening. And out of the box, we have a working sim that is not exploding, that is not sinking out of the, which happens all the time. And this is just working out of the box. But clearly, I'm going to let this run. And then we're going to make a little flip book. And then we're going to see how we can improve it by creating some custom forces to make it a bit more interesting. Because right now, this boat has a perfect surface, and there are no. It will just create a wake, but it's not gonna. It's gonna be like a perfect wake, and we don't want to do that. Just maybe one last thing is that there's this final input, which is the boundary flow, which we can use for injecting more velocities. I want to bring in my spectrum, so I'm going to do an object merge. I'll call this in spectrum. And I want to go to ocean surface. and I want to pull in merge spectra. Okay, and then I want to do an ocean evaluate. And there's a couple of things I need to do for the ocean evaluate. So I need to create these volume layer. Okay, so I want to create an STF. So let's actually plug this in. Okay, but notice it's size and center. So if I go here, it's gonna be height. It doesn't have a surface visible. If I do a preview grid, it's gonna have this is what it is, but I don't need the geometry. I need the fields for simulation, but I need these matching. Um, I need this matching domain information, which is going to be actually this is yeah, I did it from here, right? Okay, so let's fill that up. So we need this STF. We need velocity, hydrostatic pressure. This is new. Um, this is basically now we could inject the pressure or the velocities from the fourth input, but we need to have the correct size. So what I'm doing here is um, how basically I need to get the size. So the centroid is that I need the centroid of this guy, so it's in the same place all the time. So let's get and I think we could do the visibility in a different way, but um, let's just type it now for now. Centroid um, of lowest bounds, and that will be then close it, comma dx. That's the x-axis. Lowest. Oh, there's a little typo here. Okay. Control A, Control C, paste. Do Y, paste. Do Z. Now we can do the bounds. Okay. That's B box. And the X size. Copy Y, copy Z. And I think the division size, we can go by size. The shelf tool fills it up. Oops, kill. Like this. This is the flip blank tart. This is why is it 0? It's not supposed to be 0. It's supposed to be. This is because I changed the name. Flip tank 1. Flip tank. Oh yeah. Flip tank 1. Okay, and I think we probably need to do this a little bit bigger. But if I plug this guy in here and go back to the first frame, that has now the waves from the container as well. Okay, I'm gonna run a flipbook for this through the camera, and then we'll come back to it to see what's actually maybe like this, so you can see exactly what's happening. Okay. Oh, we need to add the extra padding for the edges as well, but we'll do that after the flipbook. All right. Where does my boat starts from here, ends here, so that should be a good angle. All right, I'll see you after the flipbook is complete. Let's actually write it down. Version 2. Actually, I'm gonna put another sim test version 1. Okay, and go. All right. See you after the sim.